Yes, able to
Okay.
see your.
Yeah, so the last session we have just talked about the functions.
Yeah,
Uh,
started.
yeah, we have just started the functions, and we have see that functions cannot be executed by themselves.
Correct.
Okay, they have to be called like this, and
Mm.
this is a main function, and function are parallel to each other in the class.
Function and
Function is
yes,
parallel.
correct. Okay.
Okay, okay. They cannot be inside the another function. They are parallel inside the class.
Okay.
Okay, so uh, we have seen basics of C sharp, loops, arrays, and functions. Okay, so today we will start with the object-oriented programming language.
Here I have
Object,
one.
yeah.
What is the difference between method and function?
What is different? You can say function is
Actually,
like, yeah,
public static void send mail is a method, right?
public static void send mail. It's a function.
Is it
Don't get confused in this. This is a very, can say, mm,
can you please create one method for me? Here.
uh, mm, basically method is a function.
Hmm?
Method is a function. How can we can give you the example? Just let me think. Uh, you can say a function. A
Hmm.
function is a reusable piece of code. It
Hmm.
can have input data on which it can operate. Okay, it can also have the return type. If I say public,
Static.
uh, I will just give it public string. Uh,
No, it's wrong. I think public static string.
string, yeah, public static string void.
No
Okay,
void.
no void. Yeah, I will say. Okay, now it is now it has to be return something. Okay,
Yes.
a function is a reusable piece of code. It can have input data. I can say string uh, A or something like string B. So it have, and it can also return a, okay. The working of the method is similar to a function. That is, it also can have input parameter arguments and also have return data by having return type, but has two important difference when compared to function. You can say uh, a method is limited to operating on data inside the class in which the method is contained. You can say it is a concept of object-oriented programming language. Function. You can say give you a difference. I just want to remember. Uh, can say yeah. If I say this is a function, or I can say like just mm, yeah. This is a function. I can say yeah. You can hold out right. This is a you can say function.
Hmm.
Mm, how can I give you the difference? And I can call this function. Suppose if there is no string here, okay. Now, if I say, okay, now this is a how can say mm, this is a very much confusing in method and you can say function. It's a very confusing question that method is similar to a function, but uh, but it belongs with the instance of a class. Okay, now how can I give you a demo? Mm, test dot method. Now suppose
Hmm.
mm, there are two classes. There is one class. Uh, okay. Now there can be one more class. I will say uh, class. Name it as test. And if I want to, you can say, uh, suppose mm, this is my class loop study. I say mm, loop study, name it as anything, loop study equal to new loop study. Okay, now loop study. Uh, I say, can give you I will make one more function public uh, what I name
Start.
it function public static void uh, name my function as test one
Hmm.
equal to uh, I can't give you the example because the method is similar in working to function, but it belongs or is associated with the instance of a class that is object. I can suppose make one more here. I will say this is private and this is I think so. Yeah.
Previous
Okay.
calls I asked same question.
Yeah.
In
Pardon?
previous in our previous class also,
Yeah.
I have asked
But
same.
I have no knowledge, but suppose if I make a object of this class, uh, if I
Uh,
say I don't want to confuse you because I can use it like okay, it will confuse you. Suppose this is a class and I want to access this class. So whenever I make the object like this, here I'm making the object. I can access all the functions inside the class. Whenever access the functions, whenever access the function by suppose making the new object like this loop study ls equal to new loop study. So
what is
by
loop study?
yeah,
Is that what is loop study here? Sorry.
it is a class name.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
understand. Hmm.
Okay, this is the class name. I'm making an object of that class. By making the object of that class, I have making a reference, and the reference name is ls. By ls dot, I can access all the properties, all the
Hmm.
functions of this class.
Okay.
Okay, and the by the thing which I'm doing, ls dot, suppose
Mm,
ls dot send mail, that
mm.
thing is called as method.
Okay.
Okay,
If
that is
you call
method.
any function outside of that class with reference is known as method. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. You can, I can use this function like
Mm,
making the object of this class. Okay,
mm.
and the reference is this one. I can use ls dot send mail.
Correct. Okay, agreed.
Okay, that is method.
Mm, mm.
That
If
is
we
method.
okay, if we use any function inside that class only, if we
In
want to use that
Yeah,
function outside of that
outside
class, we need
outside
to
that
create
class.
of that class, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
because
Okay.
I have made the instance of a class that
Mm,
is of loop study class and
mhm,
named it as, you can say, uh, name it as a loop study. Then and it is using ls dot. I can use that dot send mail of a class. So it is a method. Okay,
mhm.
that function inside this class is a function when I'm using in this class by means of my reference, then it is known as method. Okay, the
Okay.
function
Uh,
both
if
will
we,
work as the same, both will work same, but I am assessing that function in another class. So that in another class is known as method.
okay, got it.
Okay, so both the functionality of both the things are same. Suppose if I'm making the function public static something add function which give me the add of two numbers. Suppose if
Mm,
I'm passing here int a comma int b. Okay, now I will say public static string send mail. Now it has to give me, can say, int c equal to a plus b, and in the end it will return, sorry, it will be int. Okay, so now this is a function.
okay.
Okay, but when I'm assessing this function, now
Mm.
it will work same. Suppose if I say send mail, I will say
Send mail of
int f equal to send mail and two numbers, suppose 3
send.
comma 4.
Okay.
Okay, now it will give me result here as well, and when I make the object of this class in another class, but I can access by, you can say, I have told you that L loop study ls equal to new loop study, then ls dot send mail. When I'm accessing that function,
Mm,
suppose if I say I can access class test, say, mm, yeah. Okay. Now if I say public make some function static uh, static public static void calculate. Okay. Now when I say
loop
loop
study else,
study
right?
ls equal to
No loop
new
study.
new loop study, and
And not
I will say uh, suppose int y equal to ls dot uh, it will not just get, let me access the function. I can't confuse you right now. Suppose if I'm able to access this function here, this function here,
Previously, we are able to call that function, right?
Yeah, I will not confuse you because I'm know what I'm doing, because if I tell you something right now, it will
Mm.
confuse you. That's why. So this thing, this is known as method.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, right now, I am assessing this function which is of another class
Mm.
inside the another class. So by the reference of this becomes method. Here you see, I am not creating any object. I am just
Yes.
directly assessing the function.
Okay.
But here I have to make the reference to the object. Okay. Here you can see that method belongs to the instance of a class, okay, named loop study.
Okay.
Okay, this is very confusing thing, that what is method and what is a function. So the simple definition is that whenever I'm making the object of the particular class, and if I want to assess the function of that class by making the object, then that function will called as method. This is called as method. This is method. This is function. This is function. This is function calling. It is simple function calling. This is known as method. When I'm calling the one class function in another class, okay, so in this C sharp, we will not do this. We will just, you can say, inherit the properties of my, you can say, class by doing this. Okay. So we will not discussing this right now, because it will get confused to you that what I am doing. So right now, just you will get to know that what is method, what is function. I know that what is, I can show you. I have just gave you the demo that this is a function. This is a function, and I want to assess this function. I can right now, if you see here, I am not making any object. I have
Correct.
not making, but when I
Directly
use,
worry.
yeah, when I use this function in another class, I have to make an object and reference to that object when I making a reference to that object. Now, when I write, well, this is a very basic interview question. I want to cover this after some classes, but if you say I have written something like here. Okay, I have written something like this. So, in this, what is object?
LS is object.
No, absolutely wrong. Everyone says that ls is an object. No. By making this only,
Mm.
I have made the object. This, by using the keyword new, will make me a object. And ls is reference to that object. When I'm making this object new, so I will give you demo in the paint. When I am making the object by making using the keyword new, it will create an object in the memory.
Create.
Okay? By using the word keyword new.
Mm.
This is a very important question. How can you make the object? By using the keyword new. By using the keyword new, we will make an object. So this is by using the keyword new, this make an object. Now this is, I don't know where this object is. So ls, whatever the thing is, in my case, ls is reference to the object. ls is not an object at all. This is very much wrong. Nobody will tell you this thing, that ls is not a object. ls in reference to the object. So you are suppose you are in Hyderabad and you are
Mm.
10 kilometers away from the Hyderabad, and you see the milestone there that Hyderabad is 10 kilometers away. So that
Mm.
milestone is not a Hyderabad. That is a reference to the Hyderabad, that Hyderabad is 10 kilometers away. The similar same way is the ls. That ls is not an object, it is an reference to the object. This is very
Okay.
important concept. Nobody knows about this. Okay, this is a very basic interview question that first of all the interview can ask you that how can you make the object. The answer is by using the word keyword new. By using the keyword new, I will make an object. Okay, so what if the interview can ask you that, so why we write like class name equal to something like loop study ls equal to new loop study, and the answer is that, sir, why because when we make the object we doesn't know that where that object is in the memory. This is memory. So you can say if this is memory, when you make the new keyword, so it will make a it will take a space in the memory like this, but we don't know where that space is. So for that we use the reference, and the reference is ls. So ls is not an object, this is an object. This is a very important concept.
Mm.
Okay.
Here, object is loop study.
Pardon.
Actually,
this
new
is
is
this this
okay.
is object.
Okay, new loop study is object.
Yes, but
Okay.
we don't know when we use the new keyword, it will make it will take a space in my memory location. This is my
Mhm.
memory location. It will take a space, but I
Okay.
don't know where their object is made. So I will
Oh,
use my reference ls, that it is pointing towards that object, that this is the object lying here. So
okay.
ls is reference. I'm again saying that ls is reference to the
Object.
object. It is not at all object. This is very important concept.
Okay.
Okay, it is the reference to the object, and the new keyword by this is the object. Okay, it is a reference that my object is lying here in the memory, so that I can use all the properties and values of that class.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, now if we see. Uh, So in object-oriented programming language is very important to a new version of Selenium, which is WebDriver, and it is purely object-oriented in nature. You have to learn object-oriented language in order to learn Selenium, or you can say that to learn architecture of Selenium. In many interview questions, the first question asked is explain the architecture of Selenium. Now, until or unless you don't know the concepts of objects, interface, and all, you cannot explain the architecture of Selenium. So let's start with object-oriented concepts. The first
Okay.
is static and non-static. So, okay. So if I say, uh, suppose I will make a new file, add new class. I will name my class as static, non-static. Ready. Okay. And I will just add this, and I will say public static void, sorry, main string. uh, Now, if you see over here, this is my function. Suppose I make a function over here, one more function. So
Okay.
can you tell me the difference between static and non-static?
Uh, Static we can't change, right?
Just suppose if there is this function send mail, it's a static. Okay.
Mm.
Now I will say public.
We can't we can't be instantiate these classes, right? These methods or functions.
Uh, no, I just asked a simple question that in what is this static? What is this non-static? What does this mean? Just a simple question that what is a static and non-static function? Okay. So this is just a thing. If I say plus click provide and make a function, you can say sum. Okay.
We can create, uh, we can call them
Okay.
without creating any instance inside the class, right?
Uh, don't go too deep in the technical. Suppose I'm a layman, and if you want me to understand, if you want to tell me that what is static and what is difference between non-static, so how can you tell? Okay. Now,
Uh,
suppose if I say just public static, I will just change my name void sum all, and I don't pass the variables here. Okay. Now, suppose if I just I will cover all this. Don't worry. Uh, suppose here now when I declare this, okay, now I have declared this inside the function. This one. So this is a local variable
okay.
which can be used inside this function only. The
Hmm.
scope of this integer I variable is inside this only. Okay.
Inside the function, some all right.
Uh, Pardon?
Uh, the scope of I is inside that sum all function.
Yes, this sum all function. Now suppose I will declare one more variable int j equal to 200. Okay.
Hmm.
So right now just understand that these are the local variables. This is also local variable. This is also local variable. And the scope of this function variable is inside this function only. You cannot access inside this. You cannot access
Correct.
j inside this. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is global variable?
Which can access across all the project.
So if I want to declare in this file, I want to declare one global variable, where can I declare it?
To for this class,
Yes.
you can declare after internal class. You have opened on brace, right?
Yeah.
10th line.
Okay.
Later you can declare.
Okay. Here we declare global variables. Okay. Now here I say string, uh, can say name. Okay. Now this is an non-static variable. Why it is non-static? Because I haven't used any static keyword. For
Correct.
variable to be static, I will say uh, just say static int age. Okay, then this is my static
Variable.
variable. Okay, so just using the word static, it will become my static, and by not using the word static, it will become my non-static variable. And same way applied to the function. Now this is static function, this is static function, but this is non-static function. Now
Okay.
suppose, if I want to assess, can say if I want to assess this name variable inside my main function, which is static. Okay, I will say name uh, equal to can say Anuj. Okay, now if I see over here, it says name it non and object reference request. So it will give me an error. I cannot use non-static variables directly.
We have to create instance.
Yes, but suppose if I want to use inside this, I can use it. It will not give me an error. Now my question is, you can see that my static function cannot access non-static variable, but non-static function can access non-static variables. So can I my non-static function can also access the static variable or not?
Sorry, I am not getting you.
Okay, you will see, you see here that my static function can
Mm.
access only static variable.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
But my static function cannot access non-static variable. It will give
Er-
me an error.
Error. Exactly correct.
Okay, so my question is that can my non-static function
Mm.
access static variable
Yes.
or not? In your
Yes.
opinion, it can access the
Mm.
static variable.
Correct.
So if I use age, so it will not giving me any error. So
Okay.
my non-static function can access anything that is static or non-static. It does not you can say the it does not use any the non-static or static keyword. It can access all. Okay, so by
Is
this
there
we will
chance
say
to access non-static variables inside the static class? Sorry, static function.
pardon, I can't understand you, what are you saying?
Is there any chance to use
Yeah,
non-static variable inside the static function?
yes, we can. You have said that you can make, you have to make an instance of the class.
Okay.
Okay, we will cover that as well.
Mm.
We will make the object of that this class, then we can access this function as well. Okay, now if I say and another thing, static function. Now sum all, you can see here sum all is a static function. So I can use sum all, but static function cannot access non-static function. If I want to send email, it will not give me any help. Let me just say this one, it will give me an error. Okay, so the points to remember that
Mm.
static functions, if I say static functions can access only static function and static variables only. But there is no boundaries for non-static function. Okay. Now, similarly, send email, I can say can go for some all as well. So this way, my non-static function has called the static function. Okay,
Hmm.
so you can call non-static function in a non-static function. You can call static function in non-static function.
Okay.
Okay, okay. But the thing static function can only assess the static stuff.
Hmm.
Okay, now there is no rule associated with the, you can say, your non-static stuff. It can assess all. Okay. Now again, I'm writing static function can access only static keyword. Why is that? For this, we go deep into this, or you can say don't go too deep into this. Otherwise, we will see like just a minute. Okay, we will make a new module, new file, and add, yeah, and I will name it as car. Okay, make it as public. Now, this car has some properties. Can say string model int price. First of all, I will make a my main method. Okay. Now it has car has some got property. It has model. It has price. Now it has wheels as well. Okay. Now it has some functionalities like public void start. Okay. And it has one more functionalities, public void accelerate. And as you can see that these two are non-static functions.
Hmm.
Okay. Now we have declared two non-static function, and let's say, okay. Now how can I create the object of this class? I have told you. How can we make?
Car C equal to new car for this
You are
class.
again, I'm not asking you for the reference. I'm just asking you how can you create the object of new of the class by using the new keyword, new car. This
Car.
will make an object of the class. Right now, I'm not referencing to anything.
Okay. We are just creating object.
We have just created the object.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what happens whenever you create the object of the class?
Hmm.
All the non-static stuff. Okay. If I say whenever you create the object of the class, all the non-static stuff, non-static stuff will reside over there. Like here in this example, we have model, and then we have price, then we have wheels, and also start function, which is also a non-static function, and accelerate function, which is also a non-static function, will reside in this object. Now, the question you have asked that how can we assess the non-static stuff in the inside the static stuff? So what I
Hmm.
will do, I will just create a reference to the object. So C1 is the reference to the object. Okay? It is not at all object. It is just reference to the object. Okay. Now, mm, yeah. Again, I'm repeating. C1 is the reference to the object. It is a reference pointing towards the object, towards the car class. Many people think that C1 is the object, but this is wrong. C1 is reference pointing towards that object. Now, this means that C1 can assess all the non-static variables and functions. Okay. Now, if I say, now again, I'm repeating that C1 is the reference to the object. Now, this C1 can assess all the non-static variables and stuff by, let's say, C1 dot model equal to, you can say the model is 2000 or can be anything, and C1 dot price equal to 100, and C1 dot wheels equal to 4, and it has the functionality of start as well as C1 dot accelerate.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, I similarly I can make one more object and name it as car C2 equal to new car. Now, again, this will have all the, it can assess all the non-static variables and functions. Okay, it will be 2002, price is 500, wheels is 4, and it can accelerate and it can start. Okay, now, so I have told you about the non-static stuff. Now, if we talk about the static, this is all the non-static stuff.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, in this class, I know that every car has got four wheels.
Hmm.
And whenever I create the object of this car class, I will have
Okay.
to unnecessarily occupy the memory with the wheels variable. I know that every car has got four wheels, but inside my memory, I will again and again occupy the memory for the wheels. So wheels is something which is common for the all the objects.
Hmm.
So what will I do? I will make this as my static,
Wheels is equal to 4.
okay, and declare it as 4. Now when I give it as static, now it will give me error because I can assess it directly as because it will become static, so it will be out from
Non-static stuff.
my object, because all the non-static stuff will reside here, no static stuff will reside there.
Hmm.
Okay, and keep wheel in common memory location by making wheels variable as static. Okay, now
Mm.
how I can use it like uh, say console dot write line, and I will say
Wheel.
car dot wheels. Okay, because it is common for everything. I can use it here as well. I can use it here as well because every car has got the, you can say, same wheels, which is four. Okay,
Yeah.
now
Our dot wheels is mandatory, or we can directly use wheels.
yeah, you can use it directly. I'm just
Okay.
can say showing you that you can now uh, this wheels is not the part of object anymore. It's the part of class.
Mm.
That's why I can assess it like this. I'm
Okay.
I have not make any object. This is
Mm.
why I'm making the object. But when I make this wheels as static, so it will be out of the objects. It will not be the part of object anymore. It will be the part of my class.
Okay.
Okay. So this way I can access this wheels variable. So again, I'm saying by declaring wheel static, now wheels become the part of the class, which is car, not the object anymore. This is very important concept. Here you have make the new car as an object by, and by making the wheels as static, it is not the part of the object anymore because I told you that when I make the object, only non-static stuff will reside over there.
Okay.
Okay. And this is the static, so it will not be the part of the object anymore. Okay. Now I will declare as a 4. Okay. And now it's not a part of the object, and so I can use it directly. So this is how we assess the can say static function or static variable. Okay.
Okay.
Now I already told you about the, you can say the object and object reference. Okay. So uh, there is one more concept. Should I move forward or leave it here?
Okay, you can.
Okay. So now there is one more concept. For that, I will make a new class and, name my class as point or something like this. Okay, point. Okay. Now there are two variables x equal sorry, not declaring it here now, and int y. Now let's say public static void main string args. Okay. Now first of all, I will just I can say make a uh, point p equal to new point. Okay. Now I will say p dot x equal to 10 and p dot y equal to 20. Okay. Suppose say console dot write line p dot x say plus p dot y. Okay. Now I will make a function to swap the values of p dot x and p dot y. I will make one function that public static void swap. Okay, and I will pass two values int a, int b. Okay. And I will say int temp, say temp equal to A and A equal to B and B equal to temp. Okay. Uh, and I will pass my values here. Swap p dot x comma p dot y, and I will just write it over here. Okay. Now, first of all, I will make this as my startup class by going into the properties and startup point. Close this. Okay. Now, if I execute this, now you see it is not swapping.
Mm.
Okay? It is not swapping, but suppose if I just write it over here in my function and while A, then B, okay, and if I here, and I will just comment this one so that I can see that what is it is printing. Okay.
It
Now,
will swap now.
so okay, now you see it is swapping.
Yes.
Okay, but here it is not. Now I will make one more function and name it as swap well, and I will say no, again I will declare the same thing.
Excuse me.
Okay. So x equal to p dot y, then p dot y equal to temp. Okay. Now I will just uncomment this one and comment this one, and I will say swap well and passing the reference p. Okay. Now if I
Value.
run this, hello,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
Abhijit. Value
yeah.
will swap here.
Now it is swapping. Okay. Now the value will swap. So
Mm.
uh, if we closely look over that this method is also working,
Mm.
but if I can say go here, now what is happening inside this uh, swap? Now when I say p dot x10, uh, you know why it is not swapping here and why it is swapping here?
Uh, as per my understanding,
Yeah,
in swap function, you
yeah,
declare int A and int B, right?
yeah,
You have swapped A and B values.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
uh, whenever you are calling that function swap p dot x comma p dot y,
Mm-hmm.
that will over there, and you write console.write and px comma py, then it
Mm-hmm.
will get original values.
Now, if we look into the, you can say here, suppose I'll just write here p dot x. Okay, now is equal to 10.
Hmm.
Oh, I will say uh, now there is 10 here and here there is 20 here. Now,
Hmm.
when I say p dot x equal to 10, now p dot x
Hmm.
is referencing to this. And when I say p dot y equal to 20, so it is referencing to this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, first of all, I will talk about this. Now, when I say temp equal to p dot x, now temp can say the variable will point towards the object where p dot x is pointing. So p dot x is pointing towards 10. So it will start pointing towards p dot x, that is 10.
Okay.
Now when the next statement p dot x equal to p dot y. Now p dot x will stop pointing towards its 10 and it will start pointing towards where p dot y is pointing.
Hmm.
Now it will start referencing where p dot y is pointing. So it will start pointing towards 20. Okay. Now p dot y equal to temp. Now p dot y will stop referencing towards 20 and it will start referencing towards the variable where temp is pointing. So temp is pointing towards 10, so it will start pointing towards 10. So that's why the values are swapped. But in case of this, the swapping is done between, now what is happening, if I say, so this is p dot x, which is 10, and this is p dot y, which is 20. So here, if I say uh, p dot y, which is, can say, referencing to 20, and p dot x, which is referencing to here, here. So, and they have sent to integer, can say a and b. Now, swapping is done between a and b. They have their values swapped, but nothing is happening over there. Okay, so if you see that, so this a and b has been swapped, but it has not been changed with the values of this p dot x, because p dot x and p dot y will pointing towards their, you can say, respective object. They have not been changed. So this method is known as call by reference. Okay, so I have passed the reference here. I have passed my object here. I'm not passing any values. I have just passed my object here. I'm passing call by, this is known as call by reference, and this is known as call by value. So values will change but it will not affect the, can say, p dot x and p dot y, because nothing has been done between these two. The thing which has been operation done has been between these a and b. So values will swap between these, but nothing is been done between these two. But in this the operation is done between these two. So their values have been swapped. So this is known as call by reference. Okay.
Okay.
So I have passed the reference here. P is
If we
my
pass int p dot x, comma int p dot y, then the values might.
here.
Yes.
But where should p dot x is declared?
Okay.
P is declared inside this. The
Ah.
scope of reference is
Yes.
inside this.
Mhm. Agreed.
Okay. That's why it is not swapping. Okay. So Naresh, that's all for the today. Okay. Uh, just watch the video, and you have watched the previous video as well. So there's nothing you have got to ask about the previous videos.
Yes.
Okay, so we will meet tomorrow at the same time, and I hope I will. I'm a little bit clear to you that what is function, what is method. Okay, so
Yes.
don't go too deep into that, because if you go too deep, you will get confused to yourself. But what is this? What is static? What is non-static? Just go line, can say point by point, line by line. Don't go to the Z. Go with the A, B, C, D.
Mhm.
Okay, that's where it will be become more easy for you. I know that you have knowledge about the concepts, but go slowly.
Actually, before starting our training,
Mm.
I just saw some articles and some
Yeah,
videos about C Sharp and Selenium, like
yeah.
10, 10 hours.
Okay. Now the
The-
thing is, so you have got the new thing that
Mm.
P is not an object. Everybody will confused in this. 98% of the programmers or testers confused about that P is an object. No, P is an reference to the object. This is an object. You can
Okay.
make, you can declare object by using the word keyword new.
Mm.
This will make an object, but this is where it is in this memory location, you don't know. So by using this, it will reference to the object.
Yes.
Okay, that's why I have passing the reference here. That's why it is called by reference. I have passed the reference and I know the reference is with me, so I can call the objects.
Okay.
Okay, so we will meet tomorrow at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, you are coming tomorrow. Your voice is breaking.
You able to hear me now?
No, no,
Hello.
your voice is, yeah, yeah. What are you saying?
I will listen. No problem. I
Okay,
will
okay,
join.
okay, okay. So then we will meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay,
Okay.
then bye. Good night. Take care. Sweet dreams.
Okay.
Yeah,
One thing.
yeah.
I am the only person in this class, or any others join?
Right now it's only you. Right now
Okay.
it's only I have my other classes, because in 10 minutes my another class is there, and that 8:45 p.m. it's on the end of the my can say it has three girls, and before that I have my Selenium Python batch. So now Selenium Sasha, see with C Sharp I have right now I have seven students, but it all are working, so they have different timings.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually,
Uh,
if someone is some other guys also there means they will also ask some doubts. Then we will get more knowledge. That's the reason why
yeah,
I asked.
yeah, yeah. The person has came, but he doesn't come back. I don't know what the reason, because I am only for, you can say, providing training. The Ashish will, I think so. He has got some timing issues, and I think so. Some festive seasons is there, so he is busy by now. I don't know. He will come back, but I don't know whether he will come back on at what time.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe one or two students maybe join because I have my US can say US clients as well, but they are the problem is of timing. They want the morning timing.
Okay. At what time they are looking? In the
Uh,
morning.
but I don't have the empty slot in the morning. They are looking for 8 to 9, and my class is there with 8 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Silent with
Okay.
Python. I'm also giving tutoring about you can say Python, Selenium with Python as well. So
Okay.
so it's not an empty slot right now. But if you have your friend or something, you can call him or you can enroll him as well. But right now, I don't have another student with you right now. Maybe
Okay. Oh,
I'm trying to get with that girl if she is available because of the US timings. So it is very difficult for her to make it at so late.
also now is morning 9 or 10.
9 to 10 a.m.
For them, 7:30 means
Uh,
the US also morning 9 to 10.
Uh, but she will contact me, then I will contact you. Then if we both can group, I can because she has also studied around 4 to 5 classes. So I will contact her that if she is available, then I will
Okay.
definitely because I know that if there are more than one person, then there are more doubts. But someone in someone opinions that they want to study, you can say one-on-one. So everybody has their own opinions. I don't know. I'm
No,
here for.
actually,
Uh,
one-to-one means we both can discuss more. But if others also there means we will get some more knowledge, right?
Uh,
That
but
is the way.
you will see that some of the students will not ask any question. That you are
Correct.
asking questions, but some of the students doesn't ask any questions. They ask, okay, okay, this, okay then, but okay then, tata bye bye. That's some.
Then they will get training only. They won't get job.
I don't know, but there are some people I have. I'm in this. You can say profession from the past 15 years. So I have encountered some things like this only because they came here, but they never end up the course. Okay.
Okay.
Some people will do.
If you have any contacts with your previous students,
Yeah, I have.
how much experience they put in their resume and what is the package they are getting?
I don't know about the package, but even because they come to me often once in the, you can say 2 to 3 months about the problems. Uh, so I never asked them about their. I have my students in TCS as well. In you can say what the company is. I don't know Infosys as well. Uh, but I never asked the package and never asked the you can say the experience level because it all depend on your you can say mm, study or you can say hard work. So if you
Correct.
do more and more, just pick up any random website and go for that, go for that, go for that, you will experience more and more problems and you will get more and more knowledge. Okay, you
After
will
our
get.
course, can I put 5 years? Is that possible or?
Yeah, it is possible because I know that 1 year or 2 year or 4 year, it is
Uh,
already the same because concept, if
okay.
your concept is clear, you can do anything.
Okay.
Okay? If your concept is clear, you can do
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Okay. Okay.
The main thing is concept and
Okay.
logic. If the logic is there that how to grab that thing, you can do
Mm.
anything.
Okay.
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 So, okay, bye Naresh. We will see you
Bye. Bye,
tomorrow.
Abdi. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
okay, okay, bye. Good night. Take care.